Yup. Ah! Ow! How's it going, guys? So this is my friend Ben. He's been making these sweet whips out of paracord for the last like 2 years, and he brought one to this camp that I was counseling at a few months ago, and I thought it was perfect for our channel because, like, smoke them. Whoa, that was close. Woo, kinda touched it. Wow, wasn't that the coolest thing you guys have ever seen?
Yes!
Cool. Didn't pop though, but touched it.
At some point you should whip and hang it.
I don't know how to do that stuff. I'm too old for that.
Got you. Learning how to time like a step with it.
So yeah, not much else to talk about. Hope you guys enjoy the build. Alright, so here's most of the stuff you're gonna need. Ben brought some paracord, and I've got some extra paracord here in case this isn't enough.
And then we've got a large nail like you can buy at Menards or Home Depot. Some light pull chain, just this cheap stuff, like 6 foot of that. And you're gonna need some electrical tape. Alright, so first things first on the realist. And second, this nail is gonna be the handle. And so we're gonna make it look a little prettier by trying to grind on this area so it's nice and smooth. And then afterwards, we're gonna grind a divot right here so that we have something when we tie the strands to it, we have something to go to, and we'll smooth out this so it doesn't punch to the side of the handle. Very confused.
Push it forward like that. Now we switched over from a flap disc to a cutoff wheel, and we're gonna cut that little notch groove thing that he talked about. Just kidding, we're actually gonna go with a pretty thin grinding wheel instead of the cutoff wheel.
So we're now going to cut out the paracord strands. I'm going to do a little translating because the guide I'd been looking at used heathen units, and we need to translate to freedom units. For the interior, you're going to need a 2 meter strand or 6.5 feet, a 1 meter strand or 3 1/3 feet, an 80 centimeter strand or 2.6 feet, and a 50 centimeter strand or 1.6 feet. Outer layer, you're going to need 2 of them that are 7 1/3 meters or 24 feet, one that's 5.5 meters or 18 feet, one at 5 meters, which is 16.4 feet, one at 4.3 meters, which is 14.1 feet, and one at 3 meters, which is 9.9 feet. They'll need 2 5-meter strands, which is 16.4 feet each, 3-meter strand, which is 9.9 feet, and a 4.3 meter strand, which is 14.1 feet.
And you can check the description for all these measurements.
To get the inner guts of the paracord out, we tie it to something heavy like a tree or a workbench, and then you kind of just pull the sleeve part off, and it should all come off. Sometimes it takes a while to get it all off, especially on the longer pieces. Alright, so we're going to cut this beaded chain into 3 foot, 2 foot, and 1 foot sections. So for the inner strands, you are going to take the longest one of them. That one you're gonna leave the guts in it because you want that one to be thicker. And the other ones we're gonna do is take one of the little strands inside of it, and you're gonna wanna try to tie it onto the end of the beaded chain that corresponds with its length. You're gonna pull the chain into the inside of the paracord. All right, so now we are going to use,
Or you can use this one.
now we're gonna use a lighter to just singe the ends of the paracord so that it doesn't unravel. You wanna do that with all the paracord that you just cut up. Next we'll take the inner 4 strands, 3 of them with the beaded chain and 1 of them is that other longer one we left the inner strands in. We're gonna bring them around the nail. We're gonna use the inner guts from one of the other pieces of paracord. We're gonna wrap it around where that notch is and tie them nice and tight to there. You definitely don't want it to come loose, so do that well. All right, so now that we've got that all tied up, we're going to wrap the cord guts with some electrical tape, and you wanna wrap it down to the end of the 3rd strand, but you don't need to go all the way down to the end of the 4th. So what we're taking is the inner strands of the whip and we fold them in half and line up the middle part right there. And what the basic plate we're gonna do is you take this strand right here, which is a different color so you can see a little better, is to go around the back of the handle and come up and it'll go under 2 and then over 2. So it comes across like this and over. You want to make sure you hold it tight. And then do the same thing but now on the other side. So we'll take that same first strand, it'll go around the back and go underneath these 2 and over these 2, like so. And then you lather, rinse, and repeat for a very long time. Alright, so when you get down to some of the strands being kind of short and you need to drop some strands, what you're going to do is keep doing the same thing you've been doing before, where you're going to go behind 2 and over 2, but then when you come to the front, you're going to want to hold it down tight with the middle part of the whip and have it come down, and now you'll just treat these as being part of that middle strand, like that. And now instead of doing under 2 over 2, you're going to do under 2 over 1. So when you get done with the end of these 4 strands, we're just going to tape them down for now, and it'll get covered by the next layer. Alright, so we're going to reinforce this area where the handle ends and the whip part starts. So wrap it a bunch with the inner part of some of the paracord, and then also probably a few layers of duct tape to keep the tip of the nail from spiking out the side. Alright, so for the outer layer of the whip, we have all the rest of the strands, the 6 of them, and they're all folded in half again, just like we did for the first layer. And you're going to do the exact same pattern, where you're going to go grab one from one side, go down, but we're going to go under 3, and then over 3. It's a lot harder now because we have super long strands, but otherwise the process is identical and really simple to get the hang of. And then you repeat forever. Alright, so we're heating up a nail for the purpose of stabbing it through the paracord.
Dang, on the first time too.
Yeah, the first time.
I'm gonna edit it, okay.
So now you take that little homemade noose we had, you're gonna put it on the end of your whip where you ended up with the 4 strands wrapping around the 1 strand from the very middle. You're going to tighten it up on it, like so. And then one by one you're gonna tie each of the outer strands from this earlier part to the fall, what the last piece is called. Then you're gonna tie it finally with the one that was in the center of this part, like so. And then you can trim off these other guys all hanging off and singe them again so they don't fray. Alright, so we have the insides of the paracord that we had from earlier, and we're going to take 3 or 4 of the strands, and we're going to use it to make the popper, which goes in the very end of the whip after this part, and it's what actually makes the cracking noise and breaks the speed of sound. So you're going to want a section about that long. We're going to fold it in half, the 3 strands. You're going to twist it. Want to hold that still, and then twist the other side. Then what I do is hold that end together. When you let go, this should twist and stay twisted, and it'll hold that shape naturally. You want to put a little knot in this end to keep it from coming untwisted.
Dude, that is the best knot I've ever seen.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a knot. So.
Dude,
right.
That's a nice knot too. Oh, man.
That one's good enough. That one will hold it. Just gonna take the little loop from the end of your popper, or the one end of your popper. You're gonna make this shape with this part. You wanna go through this loop and hook onto the end of the fall. Then you can pull tight, and that should stay. And there you go.
Dang. Can you believe this whole process only took 20 minutes?
Yeah, as long as you mean tying this specific knot. Yes.
Yeah. Man, Ben, I'm so proud. My first ever whip, all by myself.
Yeah.
Alright, we're probably gonna try this again in the morning, but we worked so long on this thing. I mean, I worked so long on this thing, I just gotta hear it crack one time.
Alright.
Dang, ow, that hurt.
Yeah.
One more time. Yeesh. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
And needless to say, you can cut a pop can in half with this. So if you make one, please be careful. Use caution. Don't whip people.
Don't whip people?
Don't whip people. Alright, you're in the view. You could go that way like 2 feet if you wanted.
Oh no.
Ready?
Yup. Ah!
Ow. I didn't even do it all the way.
Oh man!
I didn't go all the way.
No way.
I was like, that was like, if you listen to this, like that, when I cut you out. But that was mostly. One more time, all the way.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I was debating, I'm like, what if this just like destroys the skin? I pulled the hood up again. Want me to do one just frighten you on the side first?
No. Just try to get like on this side of the back because you already did this side right now.
Ready?
Ready, set. Ah! Ouch! That like hit me in the head and the shoulder.
Hitting you in the head first?
Yeah.
That probably hurts a little less then.
Yeah. Ah, one more time.
One more time?
I don't like this, by the way.
I do.
While I'm screaming, okay?
Okay.
Ready, set. Ah! Ow! Jeez! Ah! Oh! Ah!
By your stripes we are healed.
Alright, so that's all we got for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Alright. You're saying it got worse? How is it?
It's, ooh, that's some good lighting.
Is it bad?
It's bad.